So, talking about the future of journalism and all the paywall discussions,
Yes.
will there be a future for journalism?
Sorry?
Will there be a future for journalism?
Yeah, I absolutely think so. Look, I think there's a rosy future for journalism in two ways. First of all, there's been this massive expansion in citizen journalism, in new journalistic ventures, in start-up ventures. You can see in politics here lots of the debates shaped by organisations that aren't traditional news ones, so that's one area. And secondly, there's going to be lots of new ways of distributing news content, electronic readers, and lighter computing equipment that allow people to read on the go the sort of stuff that we produce. But we have to find a financial model to make sure that what we're providing for those devices is sustainable financially.
Looking at the iPad, I mean, Apple has a billing solution at the end of it. That's why they're so successful. Why didn't the publishers come up with their own billing solution then? Any ideas on that?
The billings will have our own billing solution, but also obviously there's one through iTunes as well. So those organisations got there. We can use some of what they've got.
Talking to young journalists, I mean, looking at journalism schools, it's not like they're empty, even though the business model is so dodgy and the prospects for journalists are not very positive. But still, there's so many young kids wanting to be journalists. Any advice for the young guys coming to the profession?
Yeah, one of the biggest pieces of advice is make sure that you understand how to develop journalism in all of its new forms. Print journalism, the traditional form of journalism, is only going to be part of the journalistic story, and even big print operations like ours want journalists who have experience and ability to use multimedia and electronic equipment to make good journalistic stories.
And talking the other side of the fence, that traditional journalists been in the newsroom for 20 years, being faced with all these new developments, what do you tell them? How do you train these guys?
Well, what I would say to them is it's not a difficult thing to get to know how to use the equipment, and this is a fantastic opportunity for all of us. Fantastic opportunity to illustrate and expand and develop the stories that we have. New technology is the greatest boon for all journalists. The Times has begun because of new technology. We were an attempt to advertise new printing technology, and we'll keep on taking advantage as new technology develops.
So you're saying there is hope?
Oh yeah, I absolutely think that. In fact, I don't. Unless you believe the world can exist without any kind of information or journalism, which I certainly don't. I think that people's consumption of information is expanding. We just have to make sure that we can build a sustainable financial model for the journalism we're offering. But I believe we can.